everyone. Today, we're diving into a complex and urgent situation unfolding in the Middle East, one that's drawing the attention of global leaders, former intelligence officials, and millions watching around the world. As the war in Gaza stretches on, calls for transparency and de-escalation are growing louder, and this time, they're coming from inside Israel's own security establishment. Over 600 retired Israeli security officials, including former Mossad chief Tamir Pardo, ex-Shin Bet director Ami Ayalon, and even former Prime Minister Ehud Barak, have publicly urged President Donald Trump to pressure Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to end the war and bring the hostages home. In a letter addressed directly to President Trump, not Netanyahu, they made a bold appeal. "You did it in Lebanon, now it's time to do it in Gaza." Why Trump? Because these officials believe Trump is one of the few leaders who can influence Netanyahu's current path and help force a diplomatic resolution that would prioritize the safe return of Israeli hostages. Now, according to intelligence and family sources, the remaining hostages are believed to be held in central Gaza, an area the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, have largely avoided entering by foot. A proposed new military operation would push deeper into Gaza, but this has sparked outrage and desperation among hostage families, who say it could lead to their loved ones being killed. In fact, some are calling this proposed operation a final solution to eliminate the hostages, not because Israel would directly harm them, but because they believe Hamas will execute the hostages if they feel a military breach is imminent. And here's the troubling context. This isn't speculation. We've already seen tragic incidents where hostages were killed after Israeli troops unknowingly got too close. Videos surfacing recently show emaciated, weeping hostages, held in tunnels, barely alive. The impact on the Israeli public has been visceral. Many see these images as haunting echoes of the Holocaust. Jews once again starving in captivity, with the world watching. Despite this, Prime Minister Netanyahu's government continues forward with its military objectives. And while the official stance is that defeating Hamas is necessary to ensure long-term safety, critics, including those same retired security chiefs, argue that this approach is both morally and strategically flawed. So where does this leave us? Well, President Trump has joined the international chorus, calling for a ceasefire. And while Netanyahu's cabinet appears unmoved by external pressure, the growing domestic unrest, combined with visible international scrutiny, may be shifting the political landscape. Meanwhile, there's another major point of contention: journalist access to Gaza. Over 200 renowned journalists, including voices from the Times and the Sunday Times, are demanding press freedom in the region. Their argument is clear. Allowing foreign reporters into Gaza will help the world understand the truth, free from propaganda on both sides. Even former IDF spokesperson Jonathan Conricus, a staunch defender of Israel's military strategy, agrees that it's time to let the press in. In his words, Gaza should be accessible for the world to see. But here's the twist. While many in Israel support this transparency, there's fear that media manipulation could misrepresent the conflict. Some journalists, Conricus warns, have served as mouthpieces for Hamas in the past. Still, the general consensus, even among some in the IDF, is that transparency now is not only overdue but essential. And that brings us to today. Gaza remains largely closed to the outside world. Hostages remain underground, famine looms, and a nation that once stood as a global model of security and resilience now finds itself internally divided and under immense pressure from its citizens, former leaders, global allies, and now the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. The path forward? Still unclear. But one thing is certain. The decisions made in the coming days may define not only the future of Gaza and Israel, but the broader Middle East. So what's your take? Drop a comment below.